Tuesday, August 6th, 2019. U.S. expands sanctions against Venezuela into an embargo. The Trump administration imposed a total economic embargo against the government of Venezuela. President Trump signed an executive order freezing all government assets and prohibiting transactions with it, the first action of its kind against a government in the Western Hemisphere in more than 30 years. The move places Venezuela on a par with North Korea, Iran, Syria, and Cuba, the only other countries currently under such stringent U.S. measures.
Si ustedes quieren atacarme, atácanme a mí, pero no se metan con Cilia, no se metan con la familia, no sean cobardes.
Iran told European powers on Monday it would further reduce compliance with its 2015 nuclear deal in about a month's time if they were still failing to protect it from crippling U.S. sanctions. The Indian government stripped Kashmir of the special autonomy it has had for 7 decades, prompting a furious response from nuclear-armed rival Pakistan. A controversial campaign ad by the Blue and White Party has exposed cracks within the centrist alliance. A day of striking sows chaos across Hong Kong. A general strike in Hong Kong descended into citywide mayhem Monday as defiant protesters started fires outside police stations and hurled bricks and eggs at officers. While previous large rallies over the past 2 months have generally been held on weekends, Monday's strike paralyzed city operations in an effort to draw more attention to the movement's demands. Protesters challenged law enforcement in at least 8 districts, responding to continuous rounds of tear gas with practiced swiftness. The grim death toll of the El Paso Walmart shooting increased to 22 on Monday after 2 victims died at hospitals. Less than a month before the 2 deadly shootings this past weekend, a Texas grandmother stopped her grandson from committing another mass shooting before it began. The director of a Spanish research center said that the international consortium that wants to build a giant telescope on Hawaii's tallest peak has decided to seek a building permit for an alternative site in the Canary Islands. 20-year sentence for Florida man who sent explosives to Trump critics. A Florida man who mailed pipes filled with explosives to prominent Democrats and critics of U.S. President Donald Trump was sentenced to 20 years in prison. Cesar SAYOC had pleaded guilty in March to using weapons of mass destruction and other crimes. Prosecutors had asked U.S. District Judge Jed Rakoff to sentence SAYOC to life in prison, while SAYOC's lawyers had sought a sentence of 10 years plus 1 month. Judge Stephen Mostovsky has won the endorsement of the Kings County Democratic Executive Committee for New York State Supreme Court Justice. The MTA seriously considered naming its new tap-and-go fare payment system Pretzel. Governor Andrew Cuomo blasted Mayor Bill de Blasio and the NYPD for faulty training after police officers walked away from punks who doused them with buckets of water.